110 degrees. It's almost there.
Come on. It's at 109. It'll work at 109. Wait for it. 110. Okay. So the water has to be 110 degrees in order to properly activate the yeast. So we put it in the bowl. And then we take our yeast. But you can use Fleischmann's or you can use different kinds of yeast. It depends on your preference. I just happened to be using a Rapid Rise this morning because it's really cold in the house. And it seems to work better for my purposes, although generally speaking, you would just use a regular yeast.
Oh, so you use 2 packets.
Just 1 packet.
Oh, you're getting all the rest out.
I'm just getting it all out of there. So we're going to just let that sit in the bowl for 5 minutes. We're waking up the yeast is what we're doing.
Oh,
so in the meantime, I'll show you how to feed the biga, which is another yeast product that we put in to provide elasticity to the bread. You know, like when you eat a piece of sourdough, if you pull out the middle, it's kind of stretchy and chewy. This product creates that in the bread. So I have a 1/4 cup of water somewhere. It's over here. And generally I would put a 1/2 cup of water to feed. But I used a lot of it and we only have a little bit of the starter left, so I don't want to kill it by putting too much, you know, asking it to do too much as far as exerting energy to grow more. So I'm using 1/2 of what I would normally to feed the biga, which is, I'm using today a 1/4 cup of water, warm water.
Does it have to be a certain temperature or anything?
Just lukewarm. I would say probably 110 degrees would be fine. You don't want it too hot because it'll kill the yeast that's already growing. And I put the warm water in the bottom of the jar and kind of mix up get it real like liquidy. And then I add the flour and then just stir it up.
How much flour?
This is a 1/2 cup. This is half of the feeding recipe. A regular feeding recipe is a 1/2 cup of water, warm water, and a cup of flour. But since I use so much of it, I don't want to kill it by, you know, asking the yeast to work overtime trying to create more than what it can, you know. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Kind of hard to explain. But so I just mix it up like this. Try to incorporate all of the liquid in the flour, and it's going to look like a big blob like that. But that's okay. It's supposed to look like that, really thick. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put the lid on it. And we're going to leave it alone for a couple hours, and then we can put it in the fridge and it'll be good for a week. Or if we want to use it tomorrow, usually after you feed it, you don't use it for at least 12 to 24 hours.